Welcome to Polish Championship 2021, race number 3. My starting position is 3. I have the winner of previous race, Jarek Radzki, to my windward. I have Łukasz to my leeward. Very competitive guys. Jarek known for tremendous acceleration after the start. Once he gets enough pressure in his sail, he can easily roll me. I have Łukasz, who I know is running very strong, and he will use this skill to run in front of me and leave me in disturbed air. So everyone has a strategy in his head, the usual business. My boat is pointing pretty much upwind. We have slash, 3 to 4 centimeters of slash, and pretty soft ice beneath the slash and rough, and that means we will not be able to develop a supersonic speed in that conditions, and the sailing angles will be wider than usually. That is what we have to take into consideration. So plan in our head, strategy prepared, flag is up, and let's rock and roll. When I look at my performance relative to Jarek, I'm pretty happy. But when I turn the camera and look at Łukasz's performance, he's even better than me. And being 20 kilos lighter, he starts immediately sailing faster, and the rest of the fleet to my leeward seems to be in a very good pressure, because they go ahead of me very quickly and gain a distance immediately. But my primary focus at this point is to point high, keep Jarek in disturbed air, not allowing him to pass me, and I'm pretty successful doing this. And now I have to focus on the other guys to my leeward. I very often look to my leeward, because guys being in front of me on port, they will tack soon, and all of them will be on starboard, meaning that they will have a right of way, and that can be a very dangerous situation. So on one hand I control where is the ley line. On the other hand, I still continuously looking through the window, sail window, to see if I'm safe on the port. And you see guys far in the distance who are already far ahead of me, and my main focus here is at this point is to maintain the speed, but at the same time point as high as possible. I will not be able to catch the guys, so I need to build a height and distance to be in a competitive spot when it comes to a first tack on the ley line. And by moving my body all the way forward in the cockpit, I create or I allow my windward runner to hike easily, and that gives me the best possible pointing ability. In this case, not really compromising speed a lot. So the guys are coming to the ley line. I'm very carefully looking on guys tacking to starboard. Łukasz is first who tacked. I know he's on the ley line. I leave out Łukasz to protect my position, not to allow him to pass me. And at the same time, I notice that the guys who are overstood, they will have a much better angle to approach the weather mark, and they will be faster, definitely faster in these conditions, having this better angle. But I will try to point and match their approach angle to keep them in disturbed air again. Hopefully I can do this. So I again move my body all the way forward and try to hike, maintain the speed, and protect my position before reaching the weather mark. So as you see, Rafał P-55 is approaching really fast, but I catch some puffs that allows me to build the height. So that was very helpful to use them in the best possible way. I maintain the speed. The mark is starts to be visible on the radar now, camera radar, so it's we are approaching very quickly, and we know there is a lot of pressure to the right hand side, because we can see guys who started to the left, they are far behind. So rounding the mark, I travel a distance of around 100 meters and immediately jibe to the right hand side where I know the pressure is, and the 100 meters I need, especially on the first weather mark rounding, because when you jibe immediately after the darling mark, you may expose yourself to a risk of being in a collision course with the guys on starboard ley line, and there will be a lot of boats, especially on the first mark rounding, so you don't want to be on the collision course with 20 or 30 boats. That's why I carried on for 100 meters and then jibed. And it seems that the rest of the fleet is doing pretty much the same, because I believe this is the best tactical decision you can make. And as I'm comfortably in the lead, I'm not involved in any direct fight with any other boats. That allows me to comfortably focus on boat handling and choosing the best moments to jibe. And at the same time, I try to maintain a flight time of my continuous flight of my windward runner, having this runner barely touching the ice or being slightly above the ice reduces the drag in the slash. This is pretty painful to have 3 runners cutting through the slash, and that limits the speed. So I try to have my runner up as much as possible, and that's why I very much look for optimal angle. I start pointing and then I bear away continuously, just to maintain the flight time as long as possible. It's less important on the upwind, but as you can see, I try to also follow the same strategy. I make it look simple, but in reality there is a lot of body balance involved and a lot of work on the main sheet to fully control the boat, because you don't want high hikes to happen, because then you have to ease the main sheet, make the mast straight and lose the speed, and then you have a need to accelerate again. Therefore it must be fully controlled, and you need a certain skills to handle the boat in this way. Another important thing in this configuration is that I have chosen the stiffest plank of all the planks that I have. Stiffest means 42 millimeters, and this was done on purpose because I wanted to force the mast to bend more, because if you have plank that is stiff, then the more load goes to the mast, and the mast starts to work more dynamic. In this case, I knew that the plank bend will not be that much crucial, and I decided to go for stiff plank, and the mast is also relatively stiff, so I wanted mast to be more dynamic by using a stiffer plank. And as I have a feeling that this is the maximum speed I can develop, I try to keep my elbows inside the boat, move my body forth and back all the time to maintain the hike, especially on the downwind. Another thing is that I've chosen 100 degrees thin inserts with around 23-24 inches of crown, because I wanted the load to be distributed on the biggest possible runner surface, and having this runner configuration was a good choice, obviously, and the boat was going really well and really fast. And keeping this strategy of long flight time of my windward runner was also helping me to develop even greater speed, and as you see, the lead is growing with every maneuver that I make. And again, rounding the mark, short starboard, and then jibe to the right side of the race course, again back to the wind. And this is what I'm pretty much doing for all 3 laps. and all the time body work, moving forward, backward. This downwind course with one runner flying in the air all the time under my full control is something that for sure greatly benefits to developing maximum speed. And as you are not involved in any direct fight with any other boat, you can really focus on perfect boat handling. You have this comfortable situation to choose exactly the spot you want to jibe or tack, and that comfortable situation helps you to grow the lead even more. And I wish I could have every race like that, but there is nothing bad that may happen to me, as I'm choosing the optimal side of the race course and do all the maneuvers in the right way. So as you see, the lead is still extending with every single tack and jibe, mark round, perfect mark rounding, very close, very tight mark rounding, and again full control on the boat. So this is where you gain a lot of meters, or at the same time you lose a lot of meters. And there is, as I feel comfortable, there is very limited fight against my boat, ballasting, full control. I love the race, and I love the technology that shows the boat and the environment, and you can turn it 360 degrees around. That's a perfect material for learning, for analyzing, and I hope you will be given opportunities to carry this sort of cameras and decks in the future as well. So thank you very much for watching. There's nothing exciting going to happen in this race until the finishing line. Hope you learned something from this short commentary, and you will be able to use some of the tactics and tricks that I presented in this movie. See you soon on the starting line, somewhere, someday, hopefully on black ice. Take care, bye.